Hey everyone, welcome back. So as you can tell by the title of this video today, what we're going to be focusing on is concealing those under eye circles that you may have. For me, they are pretty bad recently. I just haven't been sleeping well, and today I'm a little bit hungover. So those lines and those dark circles underneath my eyes are definitely ready to be concealed today. So you'll see when I go ahead and do the actual demo how I go about concealing them. Before we jump into actually how I conceal them, I want to kind of throw back to elementary school when we talked about using the color wheel. The color wheel is such an amazing thing. You know I learned it when I was in elementary school, but I don't think at that time I really understood quite how universal and quite how helpful it could be in many aspects of life. So not just for makeup, it could also be used in general for fashion when you're trying, different outfits to see what is complementary of each other, for home decor, for anything that really is helpful in the color scheme. So I highly recommend kind of going back and really starting to understand what the color wheel is all about and how you can utilize it. But today we're going to focus on using that color wheel for color correction in makeup. So like I said, I'm not going to go too much into the whole concept of the color wheel, but I just want to kind of focus on one piece of it, and that is going to be the colors that complement each other. So as you can see, each color has a color directly across from it, and the color that is directly across from it is going to be what is the most complementary color for that color. So for example, the purple color directly across from that is going to be the yellow color. So those two colors are what you call complementary. Now also another color would be the blue. So if you look directly across from the blue, you're going to see that it is orange. So orange and blue are going to be complementary colors. Now, although they are complementary colors, what happens when you put them together is they pretty much cancel each other out. So for us today, those are the colors that I'm going to be focusing on, because specifically when you think about your under eye area, the colors that you see are going to be a bluish color. They could be a purple color. You might even have some yellow in there. So based on the concept of the color wheel, you'll want to do whatever the opposite color is that you have under your eye. So for me, the colors that we'll be using, like I said, are going to be this orange color and this yellow color, but mostly this orange. And I know it can be really intimidating at first, but I think that once you see kind of the concept of it and once you grasp why I'm using these colors, you really start to enjoy it and think it's a really cool concept. So I will list all of the products that I'm using on my face today, and also any other makeup that I have that I use that I did not show you in the video. I will list that below in the description box as well. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Hey guys, so I have done most of my face. I've done my eyes, I've done kind of a little bit of foundation, but I try to leave clear here, just this area, but I will be going in with just a makeup wipe and just removing any foundation that may have gotten in the under eye, because I want to start with a completely clean canvas for you here today. So the first step in concealing those under eyes is to really moisturize this canvas in this area here where we'll be putting the products today. So by moisturizing it, we're going to decrease the likelihood of any product creasing throughout the day. It's also going to really help so that the product stays there and it doesn't cling to any dry patches. It's really going to be a hydrated canvas for us to work with. So the moisturizer that I'll be using today is going to be the Clean and Clear Dual Action Moisturizer. This is just an all over the face moisturizer. I'm not using a specific moisturizer for just underneath the eye area. This is the moisturizer that I've used for years and years for my entire face on a daily basis. This is the Clean and Clear version, but I have also used just the generic Equate Walmart version, and I think it's exactly the same product, so either will do. But the first step, I'm just going to put a little bit on my fingers, and I'm going to just really massage that into the under eye area, just again to really hydrate the area where we'll be putting the product. And as you can see, I'm really just pressing this into the skin. I'm not really, swiping it across or really just being aggressive in this area. I'm really just trying to lightly and gently just pack that moisturizer right into that area where we'll be putting the products today. So now that I let the moisturizer really just settle into the skin, we're going to focus on the color correcting. So as I mentioned earlier with the color wheel, the colors that I find are really mostly in my under eye here are going to be mostly a blue, but also a purplish color. So looking back at that color wheel, directly across from the blue color is going to be an orange, and then directly across from the purple is going to be yellow. But I see mostly in my eyes blue, so I'm going to focus more on the orange corrector today and a little bit of the yellow. The two products that I'll be using today for the color correcting are both from the LA Girl Pro Conceal line, and these are really, really great products. I've been using their regular concealers for quite some time now, and I absolutely love them, but they just came out with these color correctors. These are the two colors that they came out with, and then they also have a green color, and that's to be used for any redness that you have. So it comes with this little tip applicator, and you really just push up the product. You don't need a lot of it. You can really either just put it directly on the area that you want to conceal, or you can just take a little bit on your finger and dab it in. So one important tip too is you want to make sure that you're only putting the corrector where it is that you want to be correcting that color. So you don't want to, for example, put it all down here where there's not really any blue area. So I'm going to focus this orange color just where the blue is, which is really just in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and place that orange corrector right underneath my eyes where the blue color is. Again, you don't want to put too much product. We're going to be blending this out a little bit, but you just want to put just enough, and then you can always add more later if you'd like. So I'm going to focus on do just this entire eye first, and then we'll do this one afterwards, just so you can see the difference between the two once I finish on each eye. So as you can see, again, I'm only putting the orange color where I saw the blue coming through. So right now, of course, it looks really ridiculous, but we're going to be blending this out, and we're going to be also covering it with another concealer, more like our skin tone, so don't be so freaked out at what it looks like now. So next, you could just go in with your fingers and really just blend this all in, but for me today, I'm just going to use a damp beauty blender. I'm going to go ahead and just really massage that into the under eye area, nice and softly and gently, and really just, you know, blend that product into the under eye. I also did have a little bit of blue that went up in this area, so I'm going to bring that product up in here as well. Since I did have some purple in there as well, I'm going to put a little bit more of the correcting concealer, and I'm going to put it in the yellow, since across from the purple on the color wheel is going to be the yellow color. So that's all I'm going to put for the yellow, and again, I'm just going to go back in with that damp beauty blender and just blend that out. You do not have to keep your mouth open like I do, but just have it. So as you can see now, the color here is really focused more on that orange and that yellow tones, whereas this side you can still see a lot of the blue and the purple. So we're going to go on to the next step, which is going to be the concealer that is more like your skin tone color. So for me, I'm going to be using NW15 as the color that I'll be using under my eyes. It is lighter than my foundation, but that's just for me personally what I like. You can do whatever color that you would like that is more, you know, possibly towards your skin tone. You can match your actual foundation a little bit better, but for me, I'm going to be going in with the NW15 MAC Pro Longwear. I'm just going to go ahead and take up some of that product and really just place it all in this under eye area. So unlike the orange concealer where I only focused that just where the blue was, I'm actually going to bring this down like I normally would with my concealer in this triangle area right here, because that's where I like to highlight mostly under my eyes. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead in again with the damp beauty blender, and I'm going to just blend that out over that orange color. So as you can see now, of course, I need to blend out this area where it meets my foundation. But as you can see, it has really covered all of that orange and that yellow color that we had earlier. And once I go into the next step, you'll see that there's even more coverage in the next step. But for now, you can really see that there are no more dark circles under this area. And you can no longer see that orange concealer that we put there to color correct the blue and the purple. So if you wanted, you could stop at this step and then just, you know, blend out a little bit more of the foundation just so it looks a lot more blended and even on your skin. But I like to do one more step, and that's going to be to set it with a powder. Now you could use a translucent powder which has no color payoff at all just to set it, or you could use a powder that has an actual color and more coverage for you. Today I'm going to be using the banana shade from the contour kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a yellowish based powder. It is a pressed powder, and it comes in their first original contour kit. But you can use any, you know, powder that works for you that you like. But again, you can either use a translucent one that has no color payoff at all just to set it, or you can use a color that has a little bit more coverage. So I'm just going to go ahead into the product and just get it on the brush here. And all I'm going to do is just really cover that area where we put the concealer. Now again, with this powder, what it's going to help to do is, one, increase the longevity of your makeup, so it's going to stay longer, just like the moisturizer did earlier. And then also it's going to help to set it so that there are no creasing throughout the day, so you don't get those lines under here throughout the day. Now, not to say that it won't happen, but this will help to decrease the likelihood of creasing throughout the day. Okay, so as I zoom in now, you can see that we really have concealed that darker shade that was there before, and this side still has that purple and blue shade. So that you can really see the difference between the two sides. So let's go ahead and do the other side just so they both look equally the same and fully covered. The first thing that I did was I moisturized. I used the Clean and Clear moisturizer and just put that underneath my under eye area where we were going to be putting the products. The second thing I did was I color corrected. So for me personally, the colors that I had underneath my eye area were more of a blue and more of a purple. So I used the color correcting colors of orange and yellow just because they are the complementary colors. Third step that I did was to actually conceal with a color tone that is whatever you prefer. So that was really just to cover up the color correcting that we did. So that was a third step to actually conceal with a skin tone concealer. The last step, which was optional, but I like to do it personally, was to set the concealer with a powder that has some color payoff. So for me, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Banana color to really set any concealer that we did. Okay, so those were all the steps that we did today. I hope they were helpful for you. Please let me know if you are interested in seeing anything else similar to this video or any other videos you'd like to see. I was thinking about maybe doing a video using a green color corrector since that is very common, especially for any blemishes that are red. Again, green being the complementary color to red, or also for any, people who have rosacea or any redness around your face. So let me know if that's a video that you would be interested in seeing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.